Yo, what's going on guys, Dubobs here. Welcome back to a brand new video here on the channel. Today we have some pretty exciting news about Marvel Rivals Esports, and it all kicks off next week. So today, Marvel Rivals released the trailer and all of the news for their brand new esports tournament that will be taking place throughout 2025 called Marvel Rivals Ignite, with over $3 million in prize pools to be given out, with grand prizes of $1 million for the grand finals and $500,000 for the mid-season finals. So yes, Marvel Rivals Esports is kicking off with an absolute bang, insane prize pools. This can only be great for the game, and I can't wait to see how this year goes. And what's brilliant is they're doing quite an interesting fair way to allow completely new players on the esports scene and have a chance to take part in Marvel Rivals Ignite. And all those details are to come. So, first of all, Marvel Rivals Ignite is the 2025 esports tournament that will be kicking off this May. And it will take place across 5 regions: the Americas, the EMEA, Asia, Oceania, and China. And we'll get into the specifics of how many slots each of these regions will have, but here's an overall view of the tournament calendar. So, Stage 1 of Marvel Rivals Ignite starts in May, and teams will have to get through the qualifiers to make it through to Stage 1's group stage. Now, teams will have 2 chances to qualify, with each split offering half of the slots. Now, first of all, the top teams from the Marvel Rivals Invitational 2025 tournament and Marvel Rivals Championship Season 1 will receive direct invitation. So first of all, you can see the top 4 teams of the Marvel Rivals Season 1 Championship from America, EMEA, China, and Asia will already have qualified for Stage 1's group stage. And the top 4 teams from the Americas and EMEA regions will already be qualified, and the top 2 teams from the Marvel Rivals 2025 Invitational from China, Asia, and Oceania will also already be qualified. And that leaves all the other slots available for open qualifiers. This means the general player base can join the open qualifiers to get involved in Marvel Rivals Ignite. And there'll be 6 slots up for grabs for China, Asia, and Oceania, and 8 slots up for grabs for Americas and EMEA. So how do the open qualifiers work? Well, there'll be 2 splits of the open qualifiers. Split 1 will run from May 15th to May 25th, and Split 2 will run from May 26th to June 1st, with each split offering half of the slots. And here's the Stage 1 Open Qualifiers calendar to make that easier to follow. From the 15th to the 21st is the registration period, and this is how you can register for the Stage 1 Open Qualifiers. From May 15th, you log into Marvel Rivals and you go to the tournament section. Here you click Marvel Rivals Clash, and you can see the Marvel Rivals Ignite Open Qualifiers, where there you select your region and go through the sign-up stage where you have to be part of a faction, and all players must be above Grandmaster 3 to register for the Ignite Open Qualifiers. And that's how you do it. So if you got your team ready and you're all above Grandmaster 3 and you want to give Marvel Rivals Esports a shot, that's exactly how you do it. And after the registration phase, the Open Qualifiers start on May 21st through to May 25th. And as we mentioned, the Split 2 qualifiers will have its registration from the 26th to the 28th of May, and then the Open Qualifiers will run right the way through to the 1st of June. Now, I looked into the tournament rules PDF that Marvel Rivals supplied, and I found more information about these Open Qualifiers, and it's quite interesting. So the Open Qualifiers will have a best-of-1 format, and during the first phase, which will be on May 21st and May 22nd, the schedule is here, factions will enter the tournament matchmaking, where they will be matched against other teams that are taking part. And these will be a best-of-1 format, where you'll just go head-to-head against that team. And it will have a hero ban lock system, which follows this order, where one team bans a hero, the other team bans a hero, and then that team chooses to lock in a hero, and the other team locks a hero, and it does that again and again, until each team has banned 3 heroes and locked 2 heroes. Now, factions can complete up to 10 open qualifying matches, and whoever wins the best-of-1 match will gain 3 points, and the loser will have 0 points, and ties do not earn any points or count towards the game. And at the end of the open qualifiers, the top 32 teams, based on their points, will move to the single elimination stage. And if teams have the same amount of points, will be ranked determined on this order on screen. The faction with more matches played is ranked higher. The faction with a shorter total time of wins is ranked higher. A faction with more kills is ranked higher. A faction with higher total damage is ranked higher. And in case of a complete tie somehow, then rankings will be decided randomly. So as I said, the top 32 teams will move to the single elimination stage for the next 3 days, and this single elimination stage will have all the teams competing against each other to knock each other out, and that will decide who qualifies for stage 1. Hopefully you're following along and that makes sense. That's stage 1, and I just want to add my personal opinion. I love that there's so many slots for the open qualifiers to allow new teams to come in that weren't the top teams in the Marvel Rivals Championships or the Marvel Rivals Invitational. I think it's brilliant to see new talent constantly coming in for esports, and especially for such a big prize pool, it'll be great to see a new team win something like that. Now, during stage 1, after the open qualifiers, they'll move to the group stage. And during this group stage, the top 50% of teams will advance to the regional playoffs, while the other 50% are out of the tournament. And then in July, the mid-season finals will take place, where all those teams will be battling it out in the mid-season tournament, fighting for spots in the next stage, and also fighting for part of that $500,000 prize pool. That's right, they've allocated $500,000 just for the mid-season final. But even bigger prizes are on the way. And that's just the mid-season prize pool. Now, these are important because it takes us into Ignite Stage 2. In Stage 2, the top teams from the mid-season finals will already have a slot. There'll be 4 slots for Oceania, 6 slots for China and Asia, and 8 slots for Americas and EMEA. Also, the top 2 teams in the Marvel Rivals Champions for Season 2 will automatically qualify for Stage 2 in Americas, EMEA, China, and Asia. And then we have the slots for the Open Qualifiers Stage 2, and this will all be taking place in August, where there'll be 4 slots for China, Asia, and Oceania, and 6 slots up for grabs for the Americas and EMEA. And then the same goes for Stage 2. The qualifying teams will move on to the group stage, where the top 50% will move to the playoffs, leading up to the grand finals in November. And the global finals promise intense rivalry as participants compete for their victory to share an extraordinary $1 million prize. So the winning team of the grand finals in November gets to share $1 million. But the overall prize pool for the whole tournament for the year will be $3 million. That's the total of how much all the other teams will be getting across the tournament. Now, if you are thinking about taking part, there are also the guidelines and the tournament rules available on the website, and it's a very long PDF. There's a lot of information about when things will happen, all the live streams, and all of the rules, which if you're serious about this, you should definitely read. But yeah, there we have it. Let me know your thoughts for Marvel Rivals Ignite in the comments. I want to just do a video where I give you all of the information about it. I think it's great what they're doing with the esports. Of course, we'll have to wait and see how it all goes down when they start live streaming it and how smooth that process is. I honestly hope that it goes really well, because a $3 million prize pool for their first year is incredible. Now, if you did want to watch along and see the progress of the start of Marvel Rivals Ignite, then I'm sure they will be live streaming when we hit the mid-season finals and the grand finals, both in July and November. But it is mentioned that players taking part in the tournament in the open qualifiers and in the single elimination stages can live stream. So between the 21st of May and June 1st, look out for live streams as you see players battle it out in the qualifiers. Maybe you can be an early supporter of the winning team. And who knows, with the success of Marvel Rivals Esports, we may see more changes to the game, like cool cosmetics for esports. Would you like that, or is that something you're not really bothered about? I know with Overwatch League, the esports skins were pretty cool for a while, so I wonder if Marvel Rivals will do something similar. But that's for another day. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.